Hi, welcome to Don's Manufactory. Well, I just seem to be doing a lot of stupid stuff lately. Broke the windshield. Yesterday, I was trying to get my antenna fixed. I put the antenna together. I checked it on the bench. It was fine, so I went ahead and threw the fender on the car. The antenna would go down, but it wouldn't go up. So I took the fender off the car. Took the antenna apart, couldn't find anything wrong with it. It seemed to be okay. I checked it on the bench, it worked. So I put it back in the car, it would go down but wouldn't go up. Now, it's not that the wiring in the car is bad, because in the end I was checking its operation without any of the wiring inside the car. I was just hot wiring the harness straight to the antenna, which I had done right here on the bench, and it worked, and it would go down and not up. So obviously there was something weird going on with either the harness or something. So in my frustration, I hooked the wires up incorrectly and put current straight across the limit switches and just fried them. So then, of course, the antenna wouldn't work at all. So I took it all apart again. Fortunately, I was able to find, after an hour and a half's worth of scrounging, this box that had my spare antenna parts in it. After much fooling around and having the case apart and together, I don't know, half a dozen times, and having the fender on and off the car 3 times, I think I finally have everything figured out and it's gonna work. Very frustrating. I didn't finish up until 11 o'clock last night, and there was no way I was going to go to sleep with this problem hanging over me. And look at the mess I left on the bench, cannibalizing this here container to make the washer that goes under the escutcheon. But hey, whatever. Yeah, it took me twice. Okay. I don't do everything perfectly the first time. Today, the idea is to get the passenger fender on, get the fenders and the hood, the latch and all that adjusted and in its final position and bolted down, and then get all the front parts on, make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to, get the headlights in, all of that stuff. I guess I better get at it and try not to do stupid stunts today. Today's update. I put the splash shields on. You can see all the seam sealer there. Really important that water being slung from the tire can't get anywhere into the body. And these little clips that hold the insulator, I've got to get those sealed up. I'll just use undercoating for that. So this will all be undercoated. One of the things that's important is getting these seals curled the right way. They're supposed to be curled this way towards the tire, and then you undercoat them and seal them all into place. So I will be doing that as well. Got my antenna harness ran and ready here. Let's see. Let's come over here. The passenger fender antenna is in, and the splash shield is redone. So you can see how it's curved towards the tire, and then that'll be undercoated. So, getting this fender on is a little more involved, just because of the antenna. And one thing gotta do is gotta have the door all the way open. Okay. So, I gotta hook up, come on, hook your foot under the end of it there. So I gotta hook up the harness connection here. And the antenna. I have to get closer here, because the antenna cable is not that long. And grab the crescent wrench, tighten the fitting on the antenna, just like that. Actually, I'm going to leave this somewhere else where it's not in the way. Okay, now I gotta get the fender up there. Get it off my foot. There we go. And then I've got my little berry bolts here with their plastic washers on them. One on the front. Here, let's see. Okay, now at this point, I don't know if you can see that, but the fender needs to go in tight with the cowl and back against the bottom of the windshield there. And then get the bolt in the very back. So to do this, I will do that by hand. Let me move this stuff. Put that right there until I'm ready for it. So in and back, just like that. Tighten her up. Now I may have to loosen that again, I don't know. But even with it being tight, it's not pulling the fender up all the way. So let's see about getting this in. Let's see where that. Oh yeah, that's up flush. It's as far back as it's gonna go. So we'll put in the upper bolt right here. We won't tighten it though. And the special, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a nut with a fairly large cupped washer on it that goes in here and picks up that bolt in the center of the A-pillar here. And yes, I have my little rubber cushions on my fender. So just snug them up finger tight. Yep, got a ways to go. Got to get that lower bolt in. And how are we up here? Oh yeah, that's good. Those bolts will go in good. All right, adjusting the fenders here. Going around and around and around. Readjust, readjust, readjust. Yeah, I don't know. It takes a lot to make me happy, I guess. I wanted the gaps to be as good as they could, and, you know, it was kind of annoying, actually. All right, so now I'm working on the latch. Got to get the lock cable hooked up, which was binding just a bit, and I'm using the witness marks to get it back, at least as a starting point. Okay, so now it's hood bumpers. Get those in there, and then of course, yeah, I got to recheck the hood and the fender fit because the bumpers change the way the hood lays. So I may readjust the hinges, but I haven't done that yet. But you can see, oh yeah, go after the latch again and readjust. Oh no, adjust the hood again. I got the clips in the wrong spot. You know, the bolts they go in the back of the headlight bucket are supposed to go from the wheel well side in so that you can remove the fender without removing the headlight bucket. Okay, so get all that switched over. Now I'm underneath there, rolling the splash shield seals around towards the tire there so that I can undercoat them into place. Okay, now I'm doing the horns, and yep, there's a left and a right. The passenger side, the wire connects underneath, and the driver's side it connects on top, and the horns angle towards the center of the hood, of the grille opening. And now I'm putting the headlight buckets in. I'm hooking up all the wiring and everything, but unfortunately I lost the ground that goes down to the park lights, so I will have to take those headlights out again and refish the wire through. Oh well, that's just the way it goes. And here I'm putting the lower bolt in the fender, and I do more readjusting, and then I tighten and I retighten and move everything around again. Hi, welcome to Don's Manufactory. Well, assembling the front end here. I am not replacing my grill moldings, but I got some dings and stuff on them. But I did take the time to repaint the silver parts, which the weather had completely worn off. And they look pretty good. That centerpiece there, that looks pretty good. And on the downside, I went to grab my clips that hold the moldings in, and I could only find one. And I don't remember whether the clips were bad or if they were rusty or something, or maybe I just lost them. I don't know. I refurbished the corral and horse. So yeah, repainted the silver and then repainted the mounting brackets black, which they are supposed to be. I also took the grill and painted that. It's not quite dry, so it's hanging out in the sunshine in the backyard. Yeah, this process of reassembly is taking a little more work than I intended, only because I have to stop and refurb all these pieces as they go back on. And I'll keep going on assembly work here, but before I do that, obviously this car is not going to be done for my high school reunion. I mean, there's still no interior in it, and I'm only 2 days away. What I'm going to do instead is drag out my motorcycle and service that. So I'll be pulling the car out and getting the bike in here and getting that going. It's a Honda. Just change the oil, charge up the battery, start it up, put gas in it, how tough can it be, right? Okay, let's get going on that stuff. Well, this is as far as I got on Betsy's face. Still got to get the bumper and stuff on. And now it's on to the motorcycle. First order of business, change out the brake fluid. It's been sitting since 2015. Yeah, runs great. A lot happened before this shot. I put a new battery in it, had to put gas in it. Got a leaky carburetor. Gonna have to pull the float bowl off to find out what's going on. And as it turns out, it is the O-ring on this fuel line right here that runs between those two carburetors. So I have to pull the whole thing out. The air box, the carburetors, the whole assembly has to come out, just so I can separate that carburetor off, and I should probably do them all then. Do these ones too, and replace those O-rings. Not bad considering. Other than that, it seems to run good. Alright, fairly simple. 2 6mm bolts to get the airbox out, undo the clamps, and the carbs just pop right off after the throttle cables are undone, of course. And on the bench, undo the forward bracket. The levers just slide out from underneath the slide mechanisms, and you can just bust it right apart. Fortunately, I had a kit that had the right size O-rings in it, and it took 8 in order to replace all the O-rings. Fairly simple repair. Actually, these Hondas are really easy to work on. There was a time when I was younger I thought they were complicated, but really not. Okay, put them back in. Same deal. Just shoot some silicone on the boots so that I can get the carbs to slide in easy. Clamp up the clamps and replace the airbox, gas tank, fired up, see if I succeeded. Geez, I love the way that handlebar always swings off to the left so that it can smack me in the top of my head. There, I'm just adjusting the throttle assembly. Now, I changed the throttle assembly spring, lightened it up because my forearm gets tired after 500 miles holding that really stiff throttle spring open. So I just lightened it up a bit. It still snaps shut, but it's going to be a lot easier to ride. Now I'm actually running it, and you can see I'm feeling the pulses coming out of the exhaust there, or setting the carburetors. All doing the whole thing the old school way. And did a minor repair to the right-hand side cover. And there it is, all complete and ready to rock. Yeah, it's too bad Betsy wasn't ready. Okay, let's start this up and go for a road test. Alrighty. And off we go. Gosh, it's a beautiful day. Temperatures are going up. Supposed to be up 105, 107 here in the next few days. But she's good to go. Thanks for watching Don's Manufactory. I'll catch you later.